Hey everybody, so this happened, which is the full complete version of the ZFG X FlowState joint development deck, and it's a little bit dirty because I've been riding it. Why not? I'm allowed. How cool is that underside? How cool is that graphic? That's come out a real treat. How neat is the drilling and the layup? I think it's come out pretty sweet. So huge thanks to the FlowState team for making this dream come true. It is pretty sweet. I'll put some hopping footage so you can check the deck flex out as well. So I'm 78 kilos and I like it. It's got a little bit of bounce, a bit of pop, and a bit of spring to it, right? It's not stiff at all. Dare I say, we can stiffen it up for the 100 kilo plus riders. That is easy to do. This is 8-ply maple with cross weave carbon fiber sheet in the middle. And we can do dual sheets as well for the heavier riders to stiffen that up a little bit. Maybe you just want a dual sheet for a stiffer deck, right? Who knows? Maybe people like stiffer decks. One thing I do want to get, so huge thanks to the boys at FlowState. It looks killer. It is pretty sweet, right? The layout, just working with the team and pushing them and the ideas of what it should look like to the limits. I think it's come up a treat. The angles, everything, it's just super aggressive and super clean. So huge thanks. The other thing I do want to mention is there's another video that talks about the motor mounts that I'm using, and they are the Radium Motor Mounts, which are they're like a two-piece mount with a one-screw setup. And one thing I didn't do in my video is highlight the ease of install. So I'm going to do it now, just quickly. Literally, these mounts are so cool that you can put them on your trucks and put your wheels on, put your belts on, get everything actually set up. And if you've got one of these and you've got an 8mm spanner to tighten the mounts up, so what you can actually do is you can get your placement, you can move the mount to where you need it to be. And then to get the placement, you simply, with this guy, you go through the wheel and that slots in to the hex head on this side. And then with your screw, you go on the nylon nut on this side and you tighten it up while it's in place with the wheel on. And what big deal, right? Well, it actually is a big deal because if you take a look at every other motor mount on the market, you've got all bolts on the side and placement can get tricky. Sometimes you screw it in place, then put the wheel on and the belt on and the pulleys on, and you realize, oh shit, it's out of alignment by a couple of wheels. So you've got to undo everything and redo everything. You don't have these, you don't have that. That problem just completely goes away with the way these motor mounts have been designed. So huge leap forward in motor mount technology. And on the back here, we've of course got the Radium motors. The Pussycat editions, right? So they've come up really sweet. The deck is a bit dusty. Sorry about that. I'll try to clean it up as best as possible, but that is super clean. We've got the layup over there as well. So for the trucks, I've put the white bushings on the outer side and loosened them right up. I think that's where I like it to be. You know, I've been riding Matrix 2s with orange shockbox for quite a while. So jumping on these, it's quite a change. The inner position is super twitchy. And dare I say, if you're doing things like jumping off stairs or little kickers, it's going to get sketchy on the landing. So I think having it on the outer, it's more suited to my style of riding, and I feel more comfortable with it. And I've loosened them up, right? So they're not tight at all, but just on the outer seating, whites, I think it's the sweet spot. For the ESC, it is a Maker X DV6 Pro. Awesome ESC, it's running 110 amps to the motors, and that's just straight off not breaking a sweat. It's just happily running at that, and it's the gearing is 78 to 16, so it's super torquey. This has a top speed of about 55 kilometers an hour, although it's a knee snapping 55 kilometers an hour, just because of the 175 kV, 173 kV motors, and the gearing. It's just off the line, just instant knee snapping. It is pretty good. The 205 kV motors are great, although they are a little bit dull in that first instance on acceleration. And I think if you are going to have 205 kV motors, while the regular DV6 at 100 amps is more than sufficient, if you do want more of that punch, going 175 or going the Pro version on the 205 kV to up the amps, that's where you want to go. So yeah, so that's come up pretty good. It's got my new ESC enclosure design on the back there as well. Carbon fiber lid with the skate bushings to keep everything nice and clean. The shock pads are specifically designed for the deck as well. So they're pretty cool. They underfoot cable routing as well. And it's stayed true, right? They've stuck with the concave of the deck. The rest of the fit out, Matrix 3, yeah, mentioned them. Wheels, I'm kind of bummed because I did want to go the XL wheels, but they're out of stock in Australia. So I've just had to go with the regular Rockstar 2s, but that's okay. Belts, yeah, so it's a 20 millimeter setup. Super wide, right? I think ditching the 15 millimeter setup that I've been running is the best thing I could have done. And I never really was snapping a lot of belts anyway. Maybe I would break one belt a year. I hear people commenting that they snap 3 belts a week. It's like, what the heck are you doing to snap 3 belts a week, man? It's nuts. But I've never really had a problem with snapping belts. And I think these 20 millimeters, maybe I'll get 2 years out of a set of belts. So there you go. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's just, it's here. It's alive. It's ready to rock and roll. So hope you guys enjoy this deck. The view of the deck, I know I will. I'm going to ride it. But I really don't have much more to say. It's here. It's alive. Take a look at all my other videos and posts about the making of. It's going to be a lot more pictures of it coming up soon. That's my cat, Lucky. She's pretty cool, right? But yeah, I am super stoked to be seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm going to go ride some more today. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Speak soon. Ciao.